Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for giving me the floor. That's an Englishman says, if you want to see a sport, come under the spotlight. And this is what really happened. We were very worried well before the commission. And if I tell you that I was happy with even that report, I thought we did not contribute much to the last commission. So it has opened up a gap. And for these circumstances, it is we, the commander, who always fall victim when issues are around us were not made clear. May I also reiterate that during the Second Republic was marked by civil disobedience. Imagine a coup d'etat, overtaking a government, and a constitutionally recognized government was overthrown by the barrel of the gun. So we didn't expect things easy on a silver platter. With time, we get to realize that we are going for the worst. We do know, because events started popping up like that. Solution, we don't know. We were not even prepared for this coup. And even during the coup, so many processes were made only to discover that they couldn't be fulfilled. So problems all over, all over. In the first place, what aggravated the whole thing was that rewarding soldiers by rank. We are all couples. We got up early morning, I'm a lieutenant, you are a couple. You still remain as a couple. How would you work? That esprit de corps was not there. So we are faced with a problem. 21 days over, when I was finally appointed, we saw this problem. But I advised them that you cannot reward a soldier by rank. If you want to do so, buy something and give it to him in appreciation. But then here is a situation, a coup. We are opening up ourselves to other coup d'etats. 4 months later, a stroke. I insist that to kill those students was the wrong way. The military has its own way. Arrest them, take them to a court-martial. If they are found guilty, go to the Supreme Court. Because at our court-martial, we have a judge from the CJ's office, a civilian judge. And our national DPP will sit for the state. It will go back to the Supreme Court for analysis. If they confirm that, yes, they are guilty, the same court will tell us how we go to execute these people. Not by saying guilty and you go ahead. No, they will tell you whether you're going to inject them by lethal injection, shoot them by firing squad, or hang them. They will tell you. And once that is confirmed, a day before that, the Attorney General must read the verdict to the victim. There must be an imam, there must be a pastor to help them read. In the American system, they said, give them their last meal. Even if you have to execute them, their relatives will pick up their bodies at the mortuary. But what happened has triggered serious instability among ourselves. We know that coup d'etats have some characteristics. One, precipitatory retirements will always come. Banning of the constitution and having decrees, ruling by decrees, while nobody is being consulted. We know about suspicion. We know about a lot of killing. Even financial transactions are always neighbor's threat. We know about this. So this is the environment we found ourselves in. The rule of thumb is we are all answerable to one man. That's the president. But I used to tell people, the president is our president, you and me, I. He is our chief executive, you and I. But he is our commander-in-chief, not your commander-in-chief. So this is the situation. And the army is always married to the commander-in-chief. When I say married, answerable to only one person. The Minister of Defense is just a liaison officer, I would say. In operational matters, we face the commanders-in-chief ourselves. So over the period, We have seen instances that brought about even the growth of this so-called junglers and so on. This was in 2003. I left in 2004. The death of this journalist, how do you call it? Point newspaper journalist, Jatta Hydra. By then we were not in the government. But we have decided to take one path with my former deputy, Samsidin Sar. We are going to stick to this man and advise him as much as we could, keep him on the right path. There were so many things we did for people, we don't want to mention it. You see, if you know your boss, you know how to handle him. But we know, Jammeh also has his own problem too. Maybe he's not even communicating it to people. And he thought aggression will solve the problem. Anytime you move aggressively towards your people, you're creating a lot of problems. I decided not to have any affairs with civilians. Why? In the Farafanya attack, the civilians arrested this boss and handed them over to me. So we operated as a team. In the Katong attack, Samsidin Sar, my deputy, went to Yundum barracks and he said, go on this July 22nd ceremony. I am taking over, but I'm going to sit in Yundum. And he came to say, informations were coming from the civilians. Now, if the civilians see us slaughtering these people, tomorrow would they defend us? They will not. We know all about psychological warfare. We were in North Carolina, and so on. We know what it really meant. But then at the bottom of the ladder, awareness, sensitization, or professionalism was not there. When you advise a head of state, he takes it or he said no. That's left to him. But the repercussion will always surface. And you are made to be accountable. Imagine 17 years they were telling me that you shot these students and you are telling them that, hey, fire, fire, fire. But today, it was all clear. Even if my men has to shoot, I take the responsibility, but I was not alone. April 10 has caused big divisions among we the security. That same morning, I was not talking to the DG for what he did. And I said, I was trying to cover up the IG. We've been working hands in glove with the police. We want to learn from the police. We even want them to learn from us. But when I send some officers to them from the police to come and learn the way the army operates, 3 days later they all quit except one man, Musa Mbub. Thank God when the incident in Farafanya happened, Musa was the commissioner at Kerewan. Come and see what he did for us. We were so pleased. But when it came to decorate him in appreciation, they said no. So all these things are never arranged in the, as we may expect. We face that. Our families were running into problem. I don't see my kids sometimes 21 days. I have to sit at home on a Sunday to see my kids. It's affected us. 10 years I have never gone on leave. Mr. Chairman, as of today, if there were to be another coup, count me out. 2, even we thought that our lives is going to improve, they didn't improve. Only a few people whose lives were improved. This is a lesson for us. A professional soldier doesn't got involved in coup d'etats. But when they coup d'etat, you see professional officers trying to stabilize the situation. And as we said, we did all that we can do to stabilize the situation. But our problem sometimes got to be the State House. Let me be honest with you. They will not go on course. When it comes to rotation, as the council said, I told them that you have to rotate these soldiers. In between, then I can rotate my brother and others. But why should I take my brother out and leave others there when we sense that there's problems? You see, if we maintain that rotation pattern, there wouldn't have been much problem. But how can one man stay in the State House for the rest of his career? That's a problem. And the CDS cannot do anything about it. And when the president mocked us, you say, Oga, Ranka Dedi, well done. You are fired, you will not know why you are fired. You will not know what you have done wrong. Is that not insecurity? So please live peacefully within the Gambia. This is a very small country. And if you think you can touch civilians, you are making the worst mistake. A man stood in front of my vehicle telling me that, Yena ya hadekabi. I don't know what to do with him. I gave him $200. He accepted giving away. Was that not a wise thing? But if I have to follow my instincts, I'm going to beat that man. We have seen incidents when officers themselves shot civilians. I will call and say, this guy is dying, come and see him, he'll take his last breath. The man will never do it again. We will rush him to the hospital and make sure that Jeff got him. But on the other hand, we are able to maintain a good PR with the civilians too. They are our authority, they are our civility. Despite all the people you see on our soldier up to here, you cannot pass the permanent secretary.
Mr. Jatta, you can start summarizing.
Yes, fine. This is a moment for me. Give me please chance. You see, that was why we said we have to involve the army in civil-military relationship. Look at the RVH. The children's ward, we did everything for them. Patching the road from Banjulindin to Kafuta, we did everything. I went to Libya and came with the tar. This was all based on what we were talking with Koro. But God said it will not happen. But we are also being stigmatized. Imagine from prehistory, the military, we've never had good names. Our reputations are so bad. But now, I am telling, pay attention to them. If you have a child in a family and disregard him, he would be a troublemaker. We thought that when the July 22nd comes, we are going to enjoy. And we did not enjoy. We had the worst. Mr. Chairman, on a final note, on behalf of the entire armed forces, I want to apologize to each and everyone. In fact, I have one of the patients here. If I would, counsel, please. You see, he has forgotten me. There's a guy here who is a victim. Please bring him. Let me say sorry on behalf of all that who are victims. Please, can you do that?
There are more victims out there waiting, so talk to them.
Please.
Talk to all of them.
Yes, I'm very, very sorry. I'm very touched. But on the other hand, I want to say thank you very much, the Commission. If it were not you, I will live with this. I did not come to myself. Did not call me. I said that in the FATU network that I will appear in the Commission because I know that this Commission cannot avoid me. If the truth has to be exposed. When Damfa came to me, he talked to me so nice and he said, well, we had this, you say you will be prepared to come to the Commission. I said, I'm very willing. But if you think that this Commission is a joke, because you are never affected, you are never in that ditch, shit like how I am today, sorry for that. But today, it's all coming out. At the end of the day, the soldiers are hearing all this. For the council, lead. You see, I wanted one thing, you do one thing for us. You see, if you handle a soldier well, at the end of the day, tell him that under this section, you have caused this offense. I want them, you tell the mother what section does mother belongs to. That will really say, and they will keep in their pockets. Those in the barracks will know what's going on. And that will deter them from any other thing. Do you know what happened when this Farafanya attack came? I told Vincent Jatta, stand by, you are going to go. Hey, sir, you cannot make me get up this early morning. Next morning they said it's a coup. So we have our own problems too. Until Peter has to say, look, I am going to do it good or bad. I say, I trust you. And we stood by the people, involved the people, civilians. We play football in Farafenye. And now here's a situation where people who are talking, sometimes when the former vice president come, we cut out of things out of him, we had a good time. We give him a good card of honor at the terminal. And he calls us by our names. The relationship now is all gone. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for putting me here today. I may be very serious what happened. But this is the moment I have to tell the whole world. I have to tell you, those armed forces, be careful. I have gone through one mistake. Don't let it be repeated. I should always say, never again. On the last note, I wish to thank you very much for giving me the audience. Thank you.